whose advice to take, what suggestions to listen to, what suggestions to reject, and who is your true mentor or your well wisher when you are in that upward progression of your life, your career. And this is something which is an area of dilemma for leaders, for people who are just beginning their career or they're trying to build the dream life that they want to. And if you are trying to listen to a lot of voices, it can often be very, very confusing. So, whom to listen to, whom not to listen to is really a big question. And I got to know the seriousness of this question while I was having a session with a very senior leader. And the leader was looking forward to going few more levels higher. So, they were looking forward for a promotion, they were wanting to upskill themselves. And we were looking at what kind of mentorship and advisory would be helpful and what kind of suggestions are actually not so helpful. Now, let's first put on the filters that we really need. Now, our brain is a very, very sharp tool that we have. So, when you set up an intention that I want to, let's say, go 2 to 3 levels higher when it comes to, let's say, your salary or your impact, or if you're somebody on the social media, it can be your number of followers, whatever it is that you're looking in terms of the outcomes. And I want somebody who will help me do it, maybe ethically, maybe more sustainably, whatever your adjectives are. Let's say I want to grow my YouTube, but I want to grow it sustainably. I want to coach, I want to do very good in this field, I want to do it ethically. So these are my adjectives. Whatever are your adjectives would also become a part of your filter. Now, when you set this intention very, very clearly with yourself, anybody who tries to pull you in a very different directions. For example, there are a lot of business coaches who have come and told me that you deserve higher than what you're doing. You can charge 5x than what you're charging. You can do this and you can do that. And when I used to do programs for, let's say, students, and that time I was working for women students, and we had a scholarship program which was completely free. A lot of people came and told me that you are wasting your time. You are just giving into the social cause of it. You're not looking at the profits of the business. But that was something that I was doing entirely differently. It was not from a business perspective. It was truly for the calling that I have for women empowerment. So I knew this. I knew this in my heart very, very clearly. So any voice which was telling me to do otherwise would go like a bouncer from my ear. I do not let it enter inside of me. Similarly, the criticisms or the remarks that are not helpful for your growth. So this is done as a very political thing when you are, especially in the corporate world, where the competition is very high, people are very sharky with each other. That time, your minute or the minutes of your mistakes would be highlighted maybe in front of other people, and they would be exaggerated. And when, instead of getting intimidated, you know in your heart that this mistake is not that big of a thing which this person is actually creating. And when you don't pay so much attention to that, but you are more focused towards what can you do better for your team, for your organization's goals, and when you achieve that, nobody is going to pay attention to this person who is sitting and picking up on all your smaller mistakes, which are not even mistakes, but they just happen, and they are trying to highlight it. But when you are a person who says that, oh, I don't know about myself, you tell me. And a lot of times, a lot of senior leaders also do this. And this is more evident in women, because women only up till very recently have started to climb up the corporate ladders, where they are very, very careful of their own reputation, as to nobody should say bad about me, nobody should say this about me and that about me. And that time your assertiveness takes a backseat. And that time, when you see that all these critical remarks are not actually something that define you, but you are going to tell people what is going to define you, that time this really, really helps you to seek the mentorship of not the people. Like, unconsciously you are believing in what these people are saying to you, who are picking up on your smaller mistakes or whatever, and you are taking their unconscious mentorship. I say this, that unconscious mentorship, unconsciously you're learning from them about yourself, but that's not your true image that they are trying to project to you. Learn from the people who show you a neutrality. Wherever there is a mentor, they show you your positives and also your areas of improvement, and they will always map it properly for you. So, one of the things that you would want to look at carefully in a mentor is that they don't go on giving the same advice to every single person. Any good teacher, any good mentor is always thinking about what do I need to say this person differently for their particular situation, and also who they are as a person. So, if there's a person in front of me, they can be somebody who needs to be challenged more, and there's a person in front of me who needs to be accepted more than to be challenged. Now I remain the same, but the approach I take with them, whether do I want to challenge their thought process or do I want to show more acceptance, depends on where they are in their life right now and what they are trying to achieve. So any good mentor, any good advisor has this thing: they map your start and the end. They understand you before advising you, and that is the most important aspect. Now at the end of this video, I am also going to give you a small golden nugget as to how do you become worth mentoring, and that is a very, very interesting topic also. So this is what you will look at. Now I was watching a very interesting movie which is Emergency, which is Indira Gandhi's film, which Kangana Ranaut directed, and she has only returned, and I was looking at everything that was happening in this movie. So the moment Indira Gandhi stopped listening to people who really had good intentions of her, of the country, of the party, and all of those things, and she started to listening to somebody who was very, very less experienced, did not have proper knowledge of politics. You can go watch the movie and you'll know what I'm trying to say. Only out of love, only out of attachment and all of those things, she started to see her own downfall. And there comes a point where J. Krishnamurti gives her a certain targeted reflection. Okay, so this is very good thing about mentors and advisors. They will just slightly sneak into giving you a reflection that you will reflect about, and that stays with her. Then she goes to J. Krishnamurti again, and he doesn't know things about politics. Maybe he knew because he was a well-read man, but he was a spiritual guide more of to people. He was a truth seeker and truth shower to people. So it got so much clarity into her mind that she was able to take that clarity and come back powerfully into politics again. So there are a lot of things what Indira Gandhi did, and people have different opinions about it. The topic of discussion is not that. The topic of discussion is whose advice did she take helped her, and whose advice did she take did not help her. So people often whoever are giving you advice, you need to put that filter of what is it that they are saying from their own fears, what is it that they are saying from their own biases, and what is it that is very, very helpful for me. So first, whenever somebody gave me an advice, I would hate it because I hate unsolicited advice in general, and people who have problem with authorities, they don't like unsolicited advice. If they admire someone, they will go and ask for it, but they will not say that keep on giving me advices. No, not at all. So that was the thing, because somewhere I used to feel that I am obligated to listen to these people, which came from own of my thought processes and biases. And a lot of women have these biases in their mind that if somebody is giving them an advice, they have to listen to it, they have to abide by it. Now when I know that I don't have to do everything that other people are trying to tell me, I break it down. I see if that's really helpful for my journey forward. If it's not helpful, I drop it then and there. So this filter, which you put, you can really imagine some kind of filter on your ears, some kind of filter in your own brain. That time you will know that, oh, this is the person I want to take advice from, and this is the person I want to take advice in this particular area only. And whatever areas you're taking advice, you would want to ask and see, not just ask. see what they have done in their own life regarding the same thing. For example, if a work colleague is giving you a relationship advice and this person's relationships are extremely strained, okay, then you may want to be very careful before you take it. So develop your own intentions before you go ahead and start seeking advices from people. And it's very good to have advisors. It's very good to have advisors. Even the prime minister of our country has advisors, and advisors from very, very different fields who tell them. And when you take advice from somebody, you are including them into your leadership. You are including everybody who's associated with them into your leadership. For example, if the person wanting to take advice from a, let's say, for a tribal region which the prime minister is not very sure about, or the prime minister is not very aware about, the prime minister, when includes one of the heads of that tribal region, and there's a discussion that has happened, and there are reports that are done that, and the public also gets to see this. Now this tribal area or the tribal people, they feel more involved into the decision making. They feel that yes, we were being considered and advices were taken from wise men of our community, and it makes a huge difference. Hence advisors, counselors have always been very, very crucial for any leader. The only thing is, can you spot them correctly? Now let me come to the next part. This is more interesting, where you become worth the mentorship. When you have something extraordinary about you, you are like that unpolished diamond. People reach out to you to mentor you, to help you to grow. Okay, and a lot of times, not these people who message you in cold DMs saying that I really want to mentor you and all of that, but people who really see a spark inside of you, and they want to mentor you to help you achieve your highest potential. And often there is a price to pay for these kind of mentors or coaches or counselors, that they may ask you excessive time commitments, or they may ask you to do a lot of work before you actually go ahead and do something, or they may ask you to be extra involved deeply into the thing. Whatever it is a part of your tapasya, or what we say as practice, the patience that you need, the perseverance that you need to put in. And these are the leaders who are able to sense that in other people. Now people who are into the professions of teaching, training, coaching, who are listening to me right now, they know about this phenomena very well, that you find something sparkling in a person. Even that person is not aware of their own magic that time, but slowly as they work with you, you are able to take that magic out of them and help them to do something very good with the magic that they have. So when you are working on this thing, or even if you have this intention, you have this drive, you have this passion, whole of your aura around you becomes very attractive to the people who are seniors to you, who would want to mentor you, who would want to guide you. For example, when I was in my college, this is a very small example, but I have faced this a lot of times in my life. I was the planning and execution secretary of our social welfare and development committee. Now our college had a very large scale of social activities that would happen, and there were so many other planning and execution secretaries with me, and it was natural that one of us would become the chairperson the next year. But there were seniors who really wanted me specifically to take the leadership of that committee. And I used to think that, oh, I have very recently come into this community. I had done a lot of work for it. I had made a lot of innovations, many things that I had done, but I had some very good intentions and very big vision for that particular committee. And I also did the same as I became the senior. So when you get the grooming from your seniors, so of course the decision was of our college authorities and people who are involved in making the chairperson and all of that, but these seniors, they taught us something additional which was required to be capable of the chair that I was going to be the chairperson of. And we continued the same thing as a legacy for that particular socials activity which we were doing. Now this happens a lot of places. wherever you need that extra layer of icing on the skill of stacks that you have, you get it from your seniors, you get it from your mentors. But for that, you have to have that vision for your growth and the organization's growth. A lot of times people have the thing only about their growth, and then they fall in trap of the mentors who also have very selfish intentions. So they use you, and then a lot of times you may also not get what you wanted. So when you expand that vision to a higher range and you really wish well for a lot of people around you, you are seen differently, you're perceived differently. I get people to do this during coaching sessions, and then I say, now go back to your workplace, go back to wherever you are, and see what has changed in the way people are interacting with you. What are the topics that they are discussing with you? Now, this would have become a very long video, but this was one of the most important things which I wanted to share. So, let me know your experiences and your thoughts in the comments, and see you in the next video.